Rob Star Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Everyone in here, do me a favor, share the live. All right. And if you and to really help out the channel, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And especially if you're new here. All right. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Clay. Ropp, this is the Ropp Star Report. Used to be called Pantherology, but now I've changed it to the Ropp Star Report, and I've kind of just changed it as time has gone on. So I changed it just because I wanted my name in it. So if you're new here, I kind of just wanted to introduce myself. And if NFL and Carolina Panthers is your thing, well, then welcome. All right. So feel free to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And of course, my link tree down below takes you to all the Discord, takes you on my social media, and then of course the sponsorship BetUS.com. So go check it out. Prime, what's up, man? What's up, man? I appreciate you coming in the chat, my brother. Appreciate you coming in my chat. The chat's coming in and says a monster of an athlete size, but does that translate to the NFL? I hope so. I mean, does that translate to the NFL? I mean, Chad, you're kind of answering your own question. It does, because look at guys like AJ Brown, look at guys like DK Metcalf. Can Leggett become those type of guys? I think that is something that we need to see, right? Everything has to, we're talking about a lot of hypotheticals, right? Right now, the offseason, there's a lot of hypotheticals, right? Nothing is for sure. So I get to why you feel that way. You're one of, I can tell you're a guy that's just like, man, I need to see it on the field. I need to see what happens on the field. Like, you're a see it to believe it type of guy. And I get it. Actions do speak louder than words. I'm a man of that myself. So I get it. To your Johnson thing, it is a great signing. His demeanor doesn't show that he's all in or wants to be here. I don't know if you're going to the practices, or I don't know if you know something I don't know. I can't justify that, Chad. But I think that once as time goes on, we'll see how it goes. Right. I mean, maybe his demeanor will change. Maybe maybe his demeanor will change. You never know. But it is what it is. No, I mean, for him, Mingo was the guy as well. Yeah, and I know. I think again, Chad. I think it comes down to the coaching staff. I think that most of the time, if we look at last year, I'm telling you right now, if we're looking at it from a last year standpoint, so much turmoil, so much. Oh my God. There's like a checklist that I have literally checked off, right, Chad? I think if you look at last year and you check off and you start from the top and down the bottom, there's multitude of things, right? There's multitude of things as to why Mingo probably didn't look good last year, why Bryce didn't look good, why the offensive line was atrocious, why we had no run game, why we had separation issues, why we had so many things. And I have a whole checklist I can go through, right? I've got stats, I've got facts. I could bring you everything you want, Chad, but I think that's something I would have to. I harped on so hard last year that I almost have PTSD talking about it because I've talked about it so much. So, hit that link button, fire. Yeah, man. Yeah, Prime. Yo, relax, my brother. Relax. We don't need all that. You didn't have to do all that, man. You didn't have to do all that, man. I appreciate that, though. I appreciate that, brother.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So shout out to you. Shout out to Prime with that $10, basically $10. I don't know why they do $9.99. Can we just do even numbers? It's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. What up, Panther Nation? Marcos is in the chat. What's up, man? I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. So shout out to Marcos. You know what's up, man. So guys, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to take it an extra mile, become a member. Become a member. So shout out to Prime already. He's already getting it going here. Chat goes, last year's coaching staff couldn't be my couldn't be my daughter's flag. Chad, last year, man, we had the Avengers last year. We had the Avengers. They were going to come swoop in and try to help us somehow maneuver this football team away from David Tepper, who I like to consider Thanos. Honestly, that's what it was like last year. Honestly, it was probably more like, if you're a Marvel fan, you ever seen the movie Winter Soldier, and then how Captain America and Iron Man are, bicker back and forth with each other, go back and forth with each other. It's kind of like how the Carolina Panthers were, if you want to describe it from a Marvel standpoint. From a Marvel standpoint. So, all right, let's get into this. So I appreciate everyone in here. Dave Canales on the Carolina Panthers offense says this all starts with the run game. All right, it all starts with the run game. He was on Peter Schrager's, I think it was Peter Schrager's show. Yeah, the Peter Schrager show. All right, so obviously this offseason, this team had made serious upgrades. Okay. Especially supporting Bryce Young, right? That was the main goal. We all know that. We all know that the main goal here for Carolina was to support Bryce Young in every way possible, whether it's through the wide receiver room, whether it's through the offensive line, whether it was through the running back room, right? Tight ends as well, right? So, and I'm going to explain to y'all today about the wide zone scheme too. I'm going to tell y'all, I think a lot of you guys don't understand the wide zone scheme. Kind of been doing my own football research and kind of learning schemes and stuff like that. But we're going to get into that today too. So he comes out. I'm trying to find the clip as we speak as to when he says what he says. I think it was on Twitter. If someone can send that to me, that would be great. I've been trying to find the clip that he was talking about this. Talking about that it starts with the run game. And I'm pretty sure it was on Twitter. I know that it's the full thing is on YouTube. I was just trying to see if I could find a simple clip of him saying that. It was on the Peter Schrager show. But if someone could send that to me, that would be great. I cannot find it on Twitter. It's somewhere on there. I missed it earlier today. I did have the full thing up. We might be able to skim through it real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see if we can pull it up real quick. Guys, I'm also on Twitch now, so feel free to join me there. Someone told me about Rumble. Might have to check that out. I set up an account, but I haven't messed around with it yet. So I don't know if a lot of you guys I'm trying to see if we can find where he says this. Because if you haven't watched the interview, it's actually a good interview. Let's see this. Let's just start here. Let's just start here. Let's just start here, you guys. Let's just do it. Do it. Do it.
Wasn't what was driving me, but I could see how the contrast of the expectation and then the performance.
Yeah.
I knew like nobody expected anything out of Gino. Well, when we get him playing well, that's going to create some noise. And then Baker comes in here and everyone's like, yeah, it's Baker Mayfield, whatever.
We've seen it.
And it's like, right. And then when the product exceeds expectation, I knew that's just going to naturally grab attention. Tampa, post Tom Brady, all that, like low expectations, 3 to 5 wins. People are just like throwing stuff out there. Like nobody expects anything from them. So I just knew like, this is a setup that when we do have success, it's going to cause some noise. It's going to create some attention. Just be ready, be ready and make sure I have my ducks in a row. And so that if I do get those phone calls at some point, I'm ready. I have my stuff organized. And so, like super, like not taken by surprise on the situation, but also just like wasn't just focusing on that. Cause it's not like, you're on a championship team and it's like people are after you as a coordinator. It's like nobody knows who I am.
Yeah,
pretty much,
no
so
doubt.
But that was fun too, because just here we go, just another challenge. So it's like Gino's story, Baker's story, a group of guys and women to come together and say, why not us? Let's just play good football and let's just see what happens and see where it takes us.
So now you're, what is it? It's June right now. You're about 5 months into this thing. Why not the Panthers? Take us through the Panthers and what you've seen so far and how the Dave Canales era has begun.
Yeah. A great core group of veteran players with a super high football character.
Inspired and designed with runners in mind, the Pacer is a brand new addition to our sport lineup. Paired with our top of the line.
I don't know them all really closely on a personal level, but I say football character because they're the types of guys that you want when they're in the building. They treat each other with respect, with love and respect. They treat everyone in the building well. They work their tails off in the weight room. Like they really go for it on the football field. Like, so there's, it's Shaq Thompson, it's Derek Brown, who's still pretty young, but he's got some years, Chuba Hubbard, Adam Thielen, Andy Dalton, Taylor Moton, our right tackle, Josie Jewell, who we got from Denver, Jordan Fuller, Nick Scott, Xavier Woods. Like there's
guys who have been around the league.
Yes, there's so many veteran players with high football character that's the locker room culture is fantastic.
Great.
It's that part is established, and then you combine that with young talent, some veteran talent. You bring in guys like Jadeveon Clowney, Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, Dane Jackson, some of the safeties I talked about. So, and then a couple of the early draft picks, Xavier Legette, Jonathan Brooks, Trevin Wallace, Jatavian Sanders. So I see a great combination of some experience, high football character, some talent in spots. Now, there's a reason. There's a reason that we were 2-15, and we have to continue to like bring more talent into our roster so that you fill out the depth of it,
Mhm.
and the great teams that I've been on in Seattle over the years, up and down, the great ones, you had depth, and so I think that's really where we are is can we establish our starters? Can we develop depth? And and we got a ways to go, you know.
Yeah. What's your message to them? Because like Sean Payton last year, whether you love him or not, I worked with him at Fox, so I have a relationship with him. He came in there and he dropped a couple bombs in the media to try to inspire his guys, talking about the previous coaching staff. That was a downtrodden group when he got there and he was trying to light a fire. What do you do to a squad that was 2-15s looking in the locker room and saying, are we, what are we? What do you do as a new coach? How do you inspire them with words?
Yeah, I think to put it simply, I just said we just need to get our football right. And the comment there was what I was trying to do, what I'm still trying to do with that is like, forget about the side stories, guys. Like, if we can just play good football, the side stories, the headlines will write themselves. But can we just get our football right? And that really was just a reflection on like, it wasn't the greatest brand of offensive football.
Mhm.
It was, there were,
I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes you feel like this guy makes, I mean, Dave Canales, the way he talks, like I said, if the guy is not a very good football coach or ends up being not good, which I kind of still feel like it, I see a lot of Pete Carroll vibes out of him. And I'm not just saying that just because he worked for him, just the way his mindset is. And I think that's probably the reason why I get Pete Carroll vibes, because he probably got most of his mindset from Pete Carroll. But I mean, Marcos, I agree with you. It makes you want to feel like we can win the NFC South. It makes you, but 336 Boston. I wish. Trust me. I wish. That's the goal one day. That's the goal one day, right? We're at 5,000 subscribers. I think that if I got to like, P&P status, like over 20 something, maybe even 30,000 in that range, maybe, right? Maybe. Right now, I'm just I'm just a little fish in the ocean, right, of YouTubers, right, and content creators.
things up front, there were
Blessed
things
to be here
schematically
with
that
you
we
guys.
needed to work on. And that wasn't to NFL standard and certainly not to Carolina Panthers 2024 standard. The defensive side of the football was excellent. And there was still things to improve on. There's still nuances to grow through. Special teams was solid. So it's just like, if we can just get all three phases up to snuff and get us all on the same playing field, then we will compete, and we will be able to, and our talent will be able to be showcased better if we can just have a foundation. And I was like, can we do that? Can we take care of the football?
Yes.
Can we try to take it away on defense? And can we just execute the most fundamental part of our technique and our scheme? If we can do that, guys, one game at a time, then we give ourselves a chance.
Are you excited? Successful. I mean, are you loving this?
I'm so excited. And I'm excited because I can see the challenge, to your point of, I can see the challenge of going through the hard times and saying, we're going to be consistent on our messaging, guys. We're going somewhere. Let's trust it. Let's fix this. Let's fix these simple things. I'll show it to you. I'm excited about just giving them that consistency in messaging and really pairing that with the character, the team that we have to go, okay, everyone, let's take a deep breath. Let's exhale here. Let's just take the next step. So I'm really excited for that.
And you've done all this work with these great quarterbacks, and I wouldn't say they're reclamation projects, because you were saying yourself, Gino was ready and Baker had it. What's the message with Bryce Young, who had a very rookie season?
So the message to Bryce Young is going to be pretty.
Yeah, I think the biggest part with Bryce is, for me at least, this is my first year with Bryce Young. I get him
Mhm.
after having 16 games under his belt. So I think that's the coolest part for me is rarely do you ever get your young quarterback with
little
NFL
experience.
experience already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I know he's not a rookie. I know that. He's a rookie to me. Like we're both here together for the first time. So we start this whole system over. We put in this offense together for the first time, and he's had some live reps. He's had a bunch of live experiences that I can draw from. And like I'm just excited about the talent. It's everything that we saw from over a year ago when we're doing the draft evaluation. It's all there. It's all still there. So it's just like, wait, the guy's athletic. He can get the ball out quickly. He's a leader. He communicates well. It's like, oh, he's got everything we need. Okay, Bryce, just do your part. Do your 111th. Just do your quarterback part. You're the point guard. Okay. And then we'll let everybody else do all theirs. And we can dissolve the pressure of like, you got to lead, you got to do this and all that.
Totally.
You're the one. No, it's just not true. I have not seen that model of football work and win in Seattle. We didn't put it all on Russell's plate. So that's not the model that we're going to try to create in Carolina. It's like, no, just do your part. It takes a whole team. So
my armchair quarterback outside looking in. Free agency, you guys built up that line. You got great protection inside, which I thought was important. And then the draft with Leggett and Brooks and Sanders, who you mentioned, he's got some more skill position players. Like the offense should be significantly better just based on that alone.
Yeah, I would agree. And it all starts with the run game. And so having
That's the part I want. Jesus Christ. Of course, YouTube loves the
Robert and
Draft that armchair quarterback outside looking in.
This is the part that I was looking for.
Free agency, you guys built up that line. You got great protection inside, which I thought was important. And then the draft,
I hate the point guard comparison to
Leggett
you, Marco.
and Brooks and Sanders,
I
who
like
you
the
mentioned,
111.
it's got some more
Like,
skill
dude,
position players.
you're
Like
one
the offense should be
out of 11
significantly
guys,
better
you
just based
gotta
on
do
that
your
alone.
1% out of that 11.
Yeah, I would agree. And it all starts with the run game. And so having Robert and Damian in there, because I love our backfield, and then adding Jonathan Brooks is just, an opportunity came to us with a really talented guy, and then just again, depth, talent. Just keep adding key pieces, challenge your roster. So that was what this draft and this offseason was all about. But I feel confident that we'll be able to to have a successful run game, which for me opens everything else up and helps their down, and it helps move the ball and give you more opportunities.
It's dangerous asking about ownership with coaches because of whatever, but like I have gotten to know David Tepper. I know he's super excited about you. What's that dynamic so far been like with David and Nicole, who plays a big role as well?
That's been fantastic. I see a couple who is really passionate about their team, and sometimes Nicole more than David. She just like absolutely loves Panthers football and the whole thing, the community. Like she's like so fired up to like serve and find like who can we bless, who can we go and like spread this, and so that's kind of like her deal is like, I just want to come out to practice and enjoy the energy of what I'm seeing, and hopefully that's what they've seen. And with David, just to be able to be with him and pick his brain and like lean on the.
All right, so perfect. That's where I wanted to get at, because I just wanted y'all to hear him say the quote and everything from the show, saying, obviously because of the title, today's live stream says it all starts with the run game. And of course, we're going to dive more into that and I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. 336 Boston says, you're not saying you're the one as in you have to do it all on your own. It's more so you're the one as the team typically goes, as the quarterback goes, or at least the offense does. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think that for Bryce, it's this. It's, it comes down to the fact that there's 11 guys on that football field. He has to do just his part, right? That's it. And, when it comes to Bryce Young, I think it's a few things that he needs to do. It's take care of the football, make smart plays, and unfortunately, I think Bryce at best can be an elite game manager. I don't think he can be an elite quarterback. I think he's because the wide guys, if you know, when we talk about this wide zone scheme, here's the reason why, and I'm gonna explain to you why it fits here in Carolina. I'm gonna explain the wide zone scheme to today, but you know, Bryce only has to do his part, and that's to 3-3-6. He only has to do the 111th. All right, everyone else will do theirs. Right, you know, you don't have to put all the pressure just on him. Right, I know every time it always goes back to him, but that's not how it works. Right, you know, it's just like he said, they didn't put all the pressure right on Russell Wilson when they were in Seattle. He even mentioned that. So that's the approach they're taking here in Carolina. It's not all on Bryce, right? You know, and you know, Canales has that history. We know that he has the history of sticking with the run game, right? When you watch the Buccaneers play, right? Or you know, for example, you know, last year it was particularly effective last season, right, for Tampa, right? They ran the ball last year over 439 times, right? So if we go look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Let's go look at their stats real quick, okay, of last year, or we could just even look at Rachaad White. It doesn't matter. We'll just look at their run game stats, okay? Maybe we'll do. Let's use PFF. Let's do PFF and let's do Tampa Bay Bucks. Because I'm already signed into PFF. Let's see. Okay. Let's go to the halfbacks. Okay. So let's go look at Rachaad White. Let's go to his profile. All right. So last year, right? Let's share this real quick. Last year in Tampa Bay, right? They ran the ball 439 times total last year in Tampa Bay. Okay. So which was only the 10th fewest in the NFL. I mean, despite averaging, I think it was like 3.4 yards per carry, the lowest in the league. But they still leaned heavily on Rachaad White. They still leaned heavily on him, right? As you can see here, who had 272 carries, the second most in the NFL, right? Which is crazy to think about. He had the second most carries in the NFL, but they were the 10th fewest in the NFL for how many times they ran the ball and only averaged 3.4 yards. But he averaged like the whole team again now. But when I'm saying averaging 3.4 yards, the whole team, he averaged 3.6, which put him at like tied for 51st, as you can see there. But they still leaned heavily on this guy. And who, you know, he had the second most carries in the NFL, right? No other Bucks back reach 50 carries. Okay. So they obviously heavily, right? But he was also big time in the pass catching game, right? Rachaad White was big time in the pass catching game. I think if I was not mistaken, Rachaad White last year for Tampa Bay was, I think, third on the team for receiving yards, third or fourth. So, you know, but here's the thing. We drafted Jonathan Brooks, right? We drafted Jonathan Brooks in the second round. He's going to add some exciting dynamic to the backfield. Also, Brooks, along with Chuba Hubbard, you got Miles Sanders, you got Raheem Blackshear, you got Rashad Penny, you got Mike Boone, you got all these guys who are going to be competing for the snaps in this training camp. But a solid run game is definitely going to significantly help, right, definitely going to significantly help the Carolina Panthers, right? What's up, Doug? Appreciate you joining, man. Always in here showing support. Him and PPP are always in here. Those guys are huge. Again, Broski Bear just says shit to say shit at this point, I think. But Canales also reiterated that the plan is to have Bryce Young focus on doing this part rather than trying to be a hero every play, which is smart because, again, you know, you don't want to put all the pressure on him, right? Canales knows that turning around a team that only won 2 games last year is a big challenge. He sees the building blocks in place for improvement in the first season as a head coach. So, Broski Bear, I'm gonna put your ass in timeout, man. Till you can learn to just shut the fuck up. So, do us all a favor because you can't even spell Canales correctly. You're you dumb fuck. God, dude, Broski Bear. You know, he's a dick rider. Okay. He's a Bears dick rider. He's a Caleb Williams dick rider. He likes guys that paints their nails, apparently. So, you know, he's a bitch made cat. So hopefully I'll meet him in Charlotte since he lives there one day. And I'll tell him straight to his face the same thing. There goes the neighborhood. Broski Bears here. You have at least stepped on the like button. I don't know if he has, but he's gone. Because I put him in timeout. Maybe what his mother and father should have done when he was younger. They just didn't do it enough. Sorry. I'm not gonna let people come in and ruin my show. This is my show. I run this shit. So let's move forward though. So again, Rashad White. So you know, Doug, I don't play that shit. I give you 3 strikes, you're out. Broski Bears come in here and said some stupid shit that makes no sense. You know, it is what it is. You know, the people can't justify anything they say anymore. So, you know, it is what it is. So let me explain something to you when it comes to Dave Canales though, and this scheme. All right. The scheme that he's going to be running, okay, with this roster. I think a lot of you don't understand what the wide zone scheme is, right? What the wide zone scheme is in the NFL. Okay, it's different. I think a lot of people don't understand what it is, and I want to go over it today. All right. I don't really have a presentation really to show you that. I should have created something for you guys, but I want you to understand what the wide zone scheme is. All right. So let me see if I can pull up something here, okay? So the wide zone offense or something like that, so you can just understand it just a little bit, okay? And I could use this for an example. No. Actually, you know what? How about this? Let's get some Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get some game tape. Let's get some game tape up. That's perfect. We're going to pull up some game tape. We're going to pull up some game tape, guys. Give me a second here. I got to find some replays here. Give me a second. Marco says, Clay, you didn't even give him a chance. Because, you know, why should I give a guy a chance that's just going to run his mouth? Why should I give a guy who's going to give him a chance to just say some stupid shit that's not going to make sense because he can't back it up with any facts who knows no ball whatsoever and just blatantly just comes on here and says stupid shit. That's a Bears fan for you. They don't know ball. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, you didn't. Oh, I didn't get. Well, I should have told you to do it, but I couldn't hit it much. I couldn't hit it faster than how much I wanted to. I couldn't hit it much faster as I wanted to, man. I hit it so fast. It was great. I gave him several chances. He just comes in here and says stupid shit. You know what I mean? Eric Blair, what's up, man? Stupid people are going to be stupid. It is what it is. Yep. I heard Caleb Williams ain't looking too good. You know, it's preseason, or it's off season. So we're gonna go to replays. I'm gonna pull up. Which game should we pull up? Should we pull up the Tampa Bay game against us, or just a different game? Which game do y'all think we should do? Oh, maybe the game maybe the game Tampa against the Eagles game in the playoffs. Right? I'm trying to think what would be a good game for this. Or we could do, maybe what was a big game for Rachaad White last year? Maybe because that's kind of what's going to get me into what the wide zone scheme is. Okay. We got to get some game film here though. Trying to find a good game though to do it. Let's see. Yeah, we could just do the Eagles game. It should be fine. There we go. Yeah, let's do full game. No, not that one. I don't want to do it alternate. Let's do all 22. Ah, perfect. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do all 22. And while we watch this, or while you guys watch this, I'm just gonna let it play, man. Okay, so here's the thing when it comes to Tampa Bay last year. Okay, I know. Jen gives him several chances, but he's being a jerk and negative toxic. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. If Nom's not wrong on that, Clay, just suggestion, replay the playoff games. Okay. All right. So, wide zone scheme. Okay. It's also known as, if you guys don't know, the wide zone scheme is as outside zone, right? It's a run-based offense. That's why the emphasis on the run game for Dave Canales is he's emphasizing it so hard. It's a lot of lateral movement by the offensive line. All right. Okay. And precise timing by the running backs is key. Okay. See how, and watch. Here's another thing. As you're watching this, two things I want you to watch. I want you to watch the lateral movement on the offensive line. I want you to watch the precise timing by the running back as he's going through his runs, right, and reads. Okay. All right. And I want you to watch how fast Baker Mayfield gets the ball out. Okay. Just those things. Okay. So the main objective here when it comes to wide zone schemes that Dave Canales runs, okay, it's to stretch defenses, okay, horizontally, okay, creating cutback lanes for the running back. So the offensive line movement, okay, in wide zone schemes, the offensive line primarily responsibility is to move laterally, okay, often towards the sidelines, okay. So that lateral movement right, we're seeing here forces the defense to react sideways, okay? Potentially creating those gaps, right? Each lineman is what it's trying to do is going to aim to block that first defender that comes into the zone rather than targeting a specific player, okay? Now, if you have any questions as we're going through this, go ahead and ask, but hands up in the chat right now if you're with me. You're understanding what I'm explaining right now, okay? And if I'm going too fast, again, ask a question, all right? And I'll stop, okay? All right, so again, zone blocking. Offensive line normally in this situation, they're working in unison, right? They're trying to block areas rather than just specific players, right? So that means that double teams at the line of scrimmage are common. They're common, okay? It happens a lot. So with one lineman really kind of peeling off to block maybe, for example, a linebacker at the second level, that's in the zone blocking, okay? The athletic lineman. So that scheme requires athletic offensive linemen who can move quickly and maintain their blocks, as you're seeing kind of like right here, right? While they're on the move. The next thing is running back responsibility. The running back in the wide zone scheme has to be patient. They have to have excellent vision when it comes to their responsibilities. Basically the three following things, I don't know if you've heard Canales say this, the 3-step approach when it comes to these running backs is read, react, and run. That's what they do. Okay. So the running back is going to, based off what he does here. Let's see if this is a run. Okay. That's the run. Okay. Okay. So see if we can get a run play here. Just a quick outside, just a quick swing and just throw it out to him. See what this is. I don't think this is a run. No, it's a play action. Baker just got to get out of there. I saw Reddick right there about to get his ass. So this is Edmonds in the backfield. Nope, just a straight shotgun throw. Yep. Let's see if we can get something else in here. They're just going to be right here. They're passing it. Oh. All right. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So the three things, right? Read, react, run. That's the running back's responsibility. So when it comes to this Y zone scheme, the read for the running back, they're aiming right for that outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. So their eyes are on the blocks, developing the front of them. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna pause this real quick so I can tell Broski Bears bitch ass real quick. You dick riding motherfucker, get the fuck out of my chat. All right. I don't have time for your childish behavior because that's what you are. You're a fucking child. You seem young and soft. I'm not, first off, not soft. I'm just calling you out for coming in my chat and just bashing my team. I don't go on live and bash the Bears. I don't go on TikTok and bash your team every second I can get. So sooner or later, broski, it gets old. So come up with something new or stay the fuck out of my chat. It's one or the other. You're doing the crybaby millennial thing. There was nothing to agree with. You're just coming in and bashing. There was no facts. There was no argument made. It's just bashing. That's what it is, broski. It gets old. That's what it is. Right? So you call it what you want and you can call it how you see it, but I'm calling it how I see it. I'm not doing no crybaby shit or nothing. I'm just saying. You can come in here if you want to start an argument about whatever, come with facts. Come up with something that makes sense. Instead of just saying Panthers suck. Thanks for, Caleb Williams. The same shit that every Bears fan says. Come up with something else. Make it make sense too. All right. Fucking bitch boy. That run game's going to be better than most people think. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to this. I want to get back to the offense, though, because now I got to fast forward and into this. Because I cannot. And again, the San Francisco 49ers, they run a wide zone scheme. The same kind of style of offense that Canales is going to run. If you guys didn't know that. They run a wide zone scheme in San Francisco too. Okay, so again, when it comes to this, and a reason why we're watching Tampa Bay film, guys, is of course, we're talking about the wide zone scheme. I think a lot of people don't understand it. So that's why we're going over it today. But we're watching it because Canales was the offensive coordinator. So this is kind of like what we're seeing on the offensive side is what we're going to see. Hopefully not that like a false start, which, but you get the message here. All right. So again, responsibility is the running back or read, react, run. Okay, so the running back is always going to start by aiming for the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. So their eyes are on the blocks developing in front of them, right? Their eyes are on the blocks developing in front of them, okay? The react, then depending on how the blocks develop and how the defense reacts, and the running back then will choose those three options. It's either most of the time it's going to either be this. They're either going to have three options, which is right. See here. Nope. Okay. Not a run play. So Rachaad White, when we watch this, if they run a run play, he's either going to do three things. He's either going to bounce outside. He's either going to cut upfield through a gap or cut back against the grain. Okay. So watch that, how Rachaad White, when they run a run play here, right? I don't know if this is going to be a run play. Let's see. All right, he just ran straight in the middle. But there are three things. Okay, there's always going to be the three options. Bounce outside, cut up field through a gap, right? Or cut it back against the grain. Okay, so once that running back makes their decision, they have to commit to it with speed and decisiveness, saying, this is what I'm going with. Okay. Now, when it comes to the wide zone scheme, okay, play action passing. That's going to be one of the strengths that we're going to have with this team of the wide zone scheme. All right. That was David Moore, by the way, who just scored that touchdown. It's going to be an integration with play action passing, right? Because the run pass plays, they're going to start with similar looks. It can confuse the defense and can create opportunities for big plays. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of bootlegs. There's going to be a lot of rollouts. All right. So I'm giving you a vision here as to what you're going to be seeing when we're on the field with this wide zone scheme. So most of the time, Bryce is going to, when it comes to that, we're going to see Bryce often roll out after faking a handoff to kind of create time and space to find those receivers downfield, which I was asking for, right? And again, we talked about the quick game. We're going to see a lot of that, right? We've heard the 2.7 seconds. A lot of quick game is going to be happening, right? And I've explained what the quarterback quick game is. Okay. There's going to be a lot of flood concepts. So routes are going to be designed to overflood one side of the field, right? To give that quarterback the multiple level of targets. Okay. Let's see if I can get back to the offense here. Of the Bucks. Let's see. All right, perfect. Let's see what they do here. Run. Okay, he did a cut back there. So personnel and versatility be key, right? When it comes to this wide zone scheme, Canales will likely employ a mix of personnel packages to keep defenses guessing. So that's going to include like multiple tight end sets, right? Tight ends are going to be crucial in this wide zone scheme for their blocking, of course, the receiving abilities. But I expect to see formations with 2 or even 3 tight ends. That's why I think Jadavion Sanders, Tommy Tremble, and Thomas, those guys are going to have their fair share. Fullback, we ain't going to see. I don't think we're going to see a fullback, but there are fullback and H-back roles. If we had a fullback, normally you would have a versatile fullback or an H-back. Sometimes maybe they'll put Rashad Penny at the fullback, something like that. They can use someone to kind of lead that block and run routes or create mismatches. Okay. And then of course the receiver involvement. So wide receivers, they're going to have to be willing to block, right? And capable of making plays on play action passes. Right? That's going to be their ability for what Dave Canales wants to do, is to sell that run fake and then get that open deep, get that wide receiver open deep, essentially. Right. So there's going to be a lot of adjustments and flexibility when it comes to the wide zone scheme. I think a lot of people need to understand that because it is adaptable. So you're going to see Canales make a lot of adjustments based off the strengths of the players and the weaknesses of that defense, right? So this can include incorporating inside zone. So what that means is that to keep that defense honest, the inside zone runs can be mixed in, which are quicker hitting and less reliant on lateral movement. Probably you're going to see a little bit of adjustments to the RPOs. So run pass option, right? You're going to see him incorporate some RPOs, which we've kind of already seen watching some of this game film. Add another layer of complexity, right? Giving the quarterback the choice to hand off or run or pass based on what that defense alignment, what they're giving you and how you react. And I mean, look how fast Baker, like I said, watch the lateral movement on the offensive line. Watch how fast he gets the ball out. That's what you're going to see a lot of. So it's us here in Carolina because you drafted Jonathan Brooks. So you got a dynamic running back who fits the wide zone scheme well. I think Miles Sanders and Chuba are going to transition well. I think they're going to hold it down. I think Rod Penny also brings in that H-back that I was talking about, / fullback kind of ordeal. The guy who's going to get you those short yardages, but is also efficient if they decide to have that pass option there, right? But you have to be our running backs have to have good vision. They have to be patient, and they have to have that burst in a wide zone scheme. I think the offensive line that we have fits this scheme because we improved the offensive line, right? We've got big, athletic, versatile players. Look how we've seen how athletic Robert Hunt is. We've seen Damian Lewis. If you watch Damian Lewis in Seattle, watch some of his highlights. He's very good against the run, and he gets up the field to block. So he's athletic enough, right? That's and then, I haven't talked about Bryce Young, but that quarterback development in this is crucial. It will benefit him, all right? Because strong run game, but the play action opportunities. That's going to allow him to make simpler reads and exploit the defensive weaknesses. And that's why the quick game, when I explained it earlier, is going to be huge, because the routes that, again, the routes that in the quick game are going to be half field reads. They're going to be, you know, maybe 20, you know, most of them are going to be 20, half field reads. Okay. So most of it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy hitch routes. You're going to see a lot of fades, slants. And I think you're going to see a lot of completions out of Bryce too. Okay. As long as these wide receivers, these tight ends get open, he's going to be able to get that ball out a lot quicker. Okay. But you have the versatile weapons too. So the Panthers, with this wide zone scheme, they're going to have a mix of tight ends and the wide receivers, right? And then of course the H-backs. That's going to allow Canales to be creative with how this wide receiver group is, how this tight end group is, how this running back group is. It's going to be able for him to be creative and unpredictable. Okay. So the wide zone scheme that we're going to see is going to prioritize what we were seeing from Tampa on offense is a strong run game. You're going to see an athletic offensive lineman, a lot of versatile play action passing. It aims to create that balanced and unpredictable offense that can adapt to different situations and exploit defenses both on the ground and through the air. Unlike what we saw last year with basically, what we saw last year with Frank Wright, was that vanilla offense. It was a vanilla offense. It was shit, right? Wide receivers weren't getting open. It was crappy. It was crappy. So, that's why I wanted to go over this today, because I think a lot of you guys don't understand what the wide zone scheme is. And I really wanted to bring that to light to you guys to kind of get an understanding of what's going to happen. And that kind of goes along with, our title today. So that's why I thought it'd be a good idea. So I appreciate everyone in here today. Let's see who's in here. What's up? See if we got any more comments. What's up, Doug? I expect Sanders to surprise a lot of fans. I think so too. I just want to, here's the thing, Doug, from Sanders, watching his tape in Texas, he's not very good at blocking. I need to see, I hope he can improve his blocking. But I do expect him to be a vertical threat. Rob Walk, what's up, man? Gotta go, family. Keep pounding. Appreciate that, Eric. Glad you were here, brother. Got over 20. We got over 34 people watching. Make sure you pound that like button. If you're watching on the YouTube, make sure you pound the like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on Twitter, come on over to the YouTube channel. That's the best way you can show your support to the channel. So, the run game is going to be huge, man. There's a lot to it. Learning, I've been learning Dave Canales' offense for a while, ever since he came here, and finally got a better understanding of it. And that's why I wanted to bring it to light today. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Basically the 4 things you see there: like, comment, share, subscribe. Those 4 things go a long way. And it's all for free, man. And it takes just a couple clicks, right? Also, Linktree is in my bio, whether it's on Twitter or it's also in the description of this live stream. So you can also check that out. It has all of my social media, my sponsorship, of course, the Discord. So feel free to join the Discord. That is free too. So feel free to join the Discord. Also, we'll be live tomorrow. All right, got some more good stuff to bring to you. So feel free to join the Discord. If you want to go an extra mile make sure you become a member. All right. Got some merch on the way, guys. I have merch on the way. I'm working on it. So for all you guys that have already been members for a while and has stuck around and stayed members, you will get. I will make sure you get a couple things free. Right, at least 2 or 3 things free when I get the merch out. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. I will be honest with you. Some of the stuff is going to be like streetwear. All right. So if you're into streetwear or whatever, it'll be good. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm hopping off of here. Appreciate y'all. Love every single one of y'all. And of course, you guys y'all know what to do, man. Keep pounding. Peace.